Now, one thing before we move on, I've just realized that obviously our price doesn't display any currency symbol, and price and year aren't aligned to the right hand side as the year heading and price are. So if we go back to the Dreamweaver, that's very simple to fix. We simply have to apply the class to the year cell, so it's going to be class ALR, and the same thing to the cell with the price. Now, before the price, if we echo the double quote, we're going to be using pounds, so XML character for the pound is and pound and semicolon. Now if we save it, go back to the browser, refresh it, you can see everything displays correctly now. Okay, if we go back to the Dreamweaver, scroll up to the top, and after our SQL statement, if we create a few new lines, and let's start typing by creating a condition. If is set get srch4, which is our text field in a search form, then we are going to be doing something here. Okay, so the first thing, we need to create a few arrays. First array will be called locations. So locations equals array. Then next array will be getters equals array. And the next one will be queries equals array. Now we are going to create a for each loop. For each get as key equals value, and a closing curly brace. Okay, and inside of this loop, we're gonna start with creating a temp variable equals is array. We're checking if the value is array, so value, then question mark, and if it is, just display value, otherwise trim the value. Okay, now we are going to another if statement. If empty, usually if it's not empty temp, then we are going to use a list function, and we put there, and we're going to use one key variable equals explode with the hyphen the key from the loop. So what's happening here actually is, if we are taking a key value, which is, if we're gonna have a look at our page, if you click on search, you can see all these gets after the question mark. So our key will be search for, our key will be search category, our key will be search cover, and so on. And every value will be whatever is assigned to this parameter. So let's say if I select Bournemouth and click on search now, if I go to the right, we have locations 3. So search locations -3 equals 3. So this is the key and this is the value. Now what we are going to do here is we are actually splitting the value by using the key, by using the explode function, the PHP explode function, which takes two parameters. First of them is what character would divide the values, and then what value should we, what string should we actually divide. So we take in a key, which is obviously the name of the parameter. In this case would be any of those parameters here, which will be search author, search language, srch year, and so on. And we check if they've got hyphens. If they have, then split it up. And the first parameter, the only first one, will be assigned to the key. So next thing we want to do, we want to check whether the key equals search location. So if key equals double equals sign, because obviously we're comparing here, we're not assigning values to the key variable. srch locations. So if we have locations, then array push locations array, the one which we've created here, value. Now what is happening here? Now if the key is search locations, as you can see, because we use this explode function, so everything after this hyphen will be completely ignored, and only first part of it, so if we look at the browsing again, only search location will be taken under consideration, because after hyphen we've got this 3 number. What was it? Let's click on this once again. Okay, we're still working on this, obviously we're getting errors here. So after this hyphen, everything after the hyphen is ignored, because we only assigning this first value, which is before the hyphen, to this key. So obviously if this key equals search locations, then put value of this key into the locations array. Array push actually adds the specific value to the end of the array defined as a first parameter. Okay, so that's here. Then if we do another comparison, if isn't in array, if it's not in array and we want to check the key in the array getters, then also add it to getters as the key equals value. So if the key from the pass through the get using the get method isn't in a getters array already, then add it to the getters array by using a key and assigning the value to it. So that's our for each loop done here. The next thing we're going to be checking if locations array isn't empty. So let's check if empty. This exclamation mark, by the way, means is not. So if we were using empty just like this, then obviously we will be checking if it is empty. But if it isn't with the exclamation mark, then do something. So if locations array isn't empty, then lock qry location query implode double quote comma double quote locations. And now what's happening here? Implode does the opposite of explode. Explode divides the string using a specific character. Implode joins the elements of the array in this case. So we are actually creating the query string here. We are creating a variable which is going to create the query string. So implode all of the values from the locations array with the comma. So obviously if we're gonna have, let's say, values as 3, 4, 5, they're gonna be 3, 4, 5, and so on. And this later on will be used inside of our SQL statement for filtering, narrowing the results. So let's continue in the next video, just to make sure that we're not making these videos too long, and we carry on with actually looping through the other arrays.